All over this Archdiocese, our teachers are doing an extraordinary job in education and faith formation. And we have to find a way to say thank you. The Jack and Rhodora Donahue family found a way to do just that. The Golden Apple Award. In that great tradition of giving an apple to a teacher, we present the winners of this award with a golden apple. They also receive a certificate of recognition and each one a check for $5,000. Those chosen are selected by teachers, their peers, students, and by parents. All of this is a way of simply highlighting what we all appreciate so much: a great Catholic education by great teachers.
Mr. Bolt seems to find it very easy to re-deliver and to share the teachings of the Catholic faith with the students here at Elizabeth Seton High School.
My favorite thing about Mr. Ball's class is that you can be so real in his class, and he knows the answer to everything, which is helpful to me and encourages me to be the best I can and be as smart as I can to be like him one day.
I just fell in love with teaching young people about Christ, especially in the New Testament. Being able to have them relate to the stories that he would tell and get a deeper understanding of those stories is something that I really enjoy doing.
He's known for saying, make good decisions, and I think that's Mr. Bolt's way of saying everything that we've done here in this class has to be transmitted into your life.
When Mr. Bolt tells us to make good decisions, he wants us to each go out and make decisions that Christ would want us to do, just like he teaches us in his class.
Mr. Bolt lives his faith through actions. It's one thing to tell people to do things, but it's one thing to actually go out and do them. And I feel that appeals to more people to see him do them than just say them.
We love you, Mr. Bolt!
Mrs. Collier truly is an amazing and professional teacher. She lives her faith. Mrs. Collier has it instilled in her to share her faith with her students.
And I try to be a disciple because I'm a model for these children. And so everything I do, I try to do to the best of my ability what God wants.
Mrs. Collier taught me about Jesus because he died on the cross and he rose again from the dead.
For me, Catholic schools means being able to let God be in every part of our lives. In pre-K, they just love God and Jesus so much that everything we do revolves around them. Children are the most open book when it comes to loving God, and it makes me reevaluate. What am I doing? How is this in my life? Am I being that pure to God and my faith?
I love Mrs. Collier because she helps people when we get readings. I like that.
I want them to take with them a wholehearted love of God, and that he loves them and he's always with them.
Jennifer epitomizes a Catholic school teacher. She lives her faith each day with what she does with the children, the prayer services, calling them to God and their special connection to Jesus.
Working here has helped me live my faith. It's given me ways that I'm able to live my faith at my job where other people don't have that luxury. So it's a very rewarding experience to be able to share my faith openly with people.
She told us about the lost sheep and explained how it was like us running away from God and how God always forgives us.
And I like the aspect of being able to share my faith with my students. I enjoy being able to attend their First Communions and share the values and the faith that I grew up with and that I've learned about with my students. I hope they take with them a love of learning and the ability to learn that we all make mistakes and that that's okay and that we grow from our mistakes. And I hope that they have a stronger faith when they leave my classroom.
She's the best teacher a student could ever have.
We love you, Mrs. Rising!
Jane Johnson is a one of a kind. She's a powerhouse in a very quiet and humble way. She wears many hats at this school, and Jane never hesitates
to continue to do more, to make our school the best that it can be.
I think the biggest thing that she does here is she reminds the students to pray every day, that God does many things to help us, and if we can realize this, then we'll be close to God.
She is always reminding them that the day is a gift from God and that we should honor Him in all we do. And she is a true witness. She is what Jesus wants each of us to be.
I'll always remember Ms. Johnson's attitude towards the students. It's always very positive, very hearty, very outgoing, and she always does her best to make everybody feel at home.
I hope when my students leave here and they go on, they know that they can be successful, that they can do it. They don't need to be masters of all the trades, that God has created them exactly the way they need to be for His purpose.
And just to have Jane in this building modeling her faith and helping others, she has no idea what she does. It's a very beautiful thing to watch.
We love you, Mrs. Johnson!
Mrs. Orlandi doesn't make teaching boring. She makes it fun and interactive. Before she was a teacher, she used to be a scientist, so that helps a great deal of teaching science. I love that she gives us labs, so it's hands-on. We can learn it in a fun way.
She cares deeply about each and every one of those boys and girls, and she lives out her faith each and every day in that classroom, and it comes out in a variety of ways, but mostly in the care and love she extends to the children in those classes as well as their parents.
You know how you always hear that you're a work in progress? Being in a Catholic school and being in a Catholic school environment, it just keeps you on that pathway, and it keeps you focused on becoming a better person.
Anytime I ask her a question or for a favor or to help out a student, she's always ready. She wants her students to be successful, and that comes through in everything she does.
Now I have children that I never realized were soaking up so much information and being inspired, but they come back years later with a great big hug and a smile and tell me how much I meant to them. That means everything.
Our younger teachers, our newer teachers, always look to Mrs. Orlandi. She's been mentored to several teachers. She's just a real asset to our community and everything she does. Because in everything she does, she goes above and beyond, and we love that about her.
We love you, Miss Orlandi!
Ms. Meyer is a compassionate and caring and loving and kind teacher. You know, ever since I've started class with her, I felt like I've grown spiritually in my faith, and everything that I've learned and experienced with her has been monumental.
Miss Meyer is a very influential person to me because I came into 6th grade. I hadn't known much about the Catholic faith until I started going to class with her as my teacher.
Megan is a very humble individual. She would be the last person to say, I deserve a golden apple, but she's the first person you think of who deserves it.
My faith has been deepened in ways that I never expected. Doing sacramental prep with my students and their families and being involved in their lives in that way is invaluable to me.
She's very committed to the social justice teachings of the Church and is able to make them relevant to a middle school student, not in knowing about them, but in actually living them and doing them.
I hope for my students, and especially my 8th graders going into high school and becoming men and women, that they know God loves them. And I hope that they know and have an understanding of social justice issues and feel called to act on Catholic social teaching.
We love you, Miss Meyer!
Julie is a wonderful example of how a faculty member filled with faith can really influence young people.
Julie creates a wonderful faith environment for all of the community, both the students and the faculty.
Whenever I have a question or if I have any difficulty, she's right there to answer my question, no matter the difficulty or the quote-unquote awkwardness.
I never really was close to God, but when I came here, it actually really strengthened my faith with God.
I look back now at 14 years of doing this, and I'm I don't feel like I go to work. I feel like I get paid to do something amazing.
It's mostly like, wow, this is like a class I could really express myself in and get closer to God. This is really a change. I mean, and it's a good change. Miss Bendorf, she's really a good teacher.
I don't know how people who don't do jobs related to their faith every day, it's just such a part of who I am, and I can't imagine separating it from my life.
I don't think it's an accident that since Julie started here, that we have had 10 either former students or faculty members go on to the priesthood. We've had numerous people convert to Catholicism. In part, that's Julie's witness. And it is an amazing impact on the school.
We love you, Miss Bendorf.
Monica is an amazing physical education instructor and fabulous Catholic educator. Monica just goes above and beyond what you would think physical education is for a Catholic school.
Studies show that exercise helps improve brain function. So if the students are sitting in a seat all day, they're not going to perform well. So they need to get out and move.
St. Paul often has examples between the spiritual life and the athletic life, and he uses those examples. And I see Monica doing that. She sets a prayerful atmosphere in what can be a chaotic situation, as a gym class can be.
It's exciting to be there for all the students and to see them grow from kindergarten through 8th grade in their faith and, just as individuals.
Miss Meyer is the best teacher in the world because she lets me play games with my friends.
Monica is one of the biggest team players I've ever met. I personally don't know where I would be or the productions and other events here at the school without her support and without the many ways that she has pitched in.
She incorporates your religion into PE, praying before PE, and I find it teaches you that God watches over you and He's given you so many opportunities to grow.
My teacher, Miss Wathen, is a great teacher. She helps you when you need help, and she teaches you so much. You know, a lot of stuff once you're in her class.
That 5th grade year is that pivotal year where they push off into middle school. So she prepares them for the responsibility that comes in middle school, where you're doing a lot of things on your own. I don't think there's a child that goes out of 5th grade into 6th grade that isn't, ready for the next milestone that they have.
What a wonderful person, and what a wonderful teacher she is, and how caring and loving she is with the kids. They all love her. They all just love her.
It means a lot to be able to come back and teach my students the way that my teachers taught me, and be able to guide my classroom in a way that is Christ-centered, and be able to talk about him because he's such a big part of my life.
She is absolutely masterful when it comes to looking at a child and finding out their challenges or their special gifts, and helps them overcome those challenges and maximize their strengths so that they can be contributing citizens.
I hope that when they leave 5th grade and they move on to middle school, that they remember not only how much fun we had, but the purpose behind everything. And I want them to remember how much that I love them, and that even though they leave 5th grade, they're not really done with me.
We love you, Miss Watson!
In our class, Mrs. Emmert makes us feel like brothers and sisters. She'll never leave a kid out.
She's always eager to go to workshops, to learn new things, to be a part of webinars, whatever it is she wants to learn, so that she can use it in her classroom, because she knows it'll help her to be a better teacher.
I believe she was born to teach. Her lessons are innovative and creative, and she really strives to engage all of her students.
4th graders had a book about the trees, and she said to the 4th graders, we could make this book kind of like a Catholic book and say each process of a growing of the of the tree, you can use you could say that's just the process of the liturgical year.
I actually am going to miss my 5th graders because I've had them for 2 years. I'm really going to miss them. These kids have grown on me like my own kids.
She's one of the most humble people that you could ever hope to meet, and she doesn't like to be the center of attention, and she is never looking for any recognition for what she does, which is why I think it's so great that she's getting this recognition.
I just hope that they remember that no matter what happens in their future, that they just know God will love them and help guide them, and that they just always try to do their best. And as long as they're trying to do their best is good enough no matter what.
Mrs. Emmerich is the best teacher you could ever have.
We love you, Miss Emmerich!
We have so much to be grateful for in our teachers. And so we gather simply to say thank you. Thank you for your commitment to Catholic education. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your great service that you provide for all our children. May God bless you.